He wasn't a hacker. He wasn't breaking into banks. He was watching a new world form online and noticing what the system wasn't ready for. And once the system trusted the wrong thing, it didn't fail loudly. It failed quietly, in volume. In the mid-2000s, everything was changing. The internet wasn't just entertainment anymore, it was infrastructure. Facebook is becoming a thing. YouTube is just getting started. Forums are exploding. And in the background, quietly, fraud communities are forming in places most people never see. Our subject is the kind of person who's always been tuned into scams.
Scams and fraud have always been on my radar. I'm just scouring the internet for any little morsel.
Not because he's proud of it, because he's trying to survive a very specific moment. The moment normal life stops paying. He's in Florida. He has a career path in graphic design. But the legit jobs don't make sense anymore. He used to have a salary that felt high for the role, and he suspects later it may have been tied to something dirty.
They were probably laundering money. I think my salary had a lot to do with that.
Then the company collapses, raided. He's out. And now the math hits. Bills every month, no income, a shrinking pile of savings.
I did the math. I had a date. The clock was ticking down.
This is the first system failure of the story, the cliff. When life is structured so that one job loss flips you from stable to desperate, fast, people start searching for exits. And online, exits are everywhere. He stumbles into early fraud forums. Not the dark web, not encrypted marketplaces, just online communities, open enough for the curious, organized enough for criminals.
I was on these sites researching bank fraud, counterfeiting, wire fraud, everything.
At first, it's research. Then it becomes proximity. And proximity becomes opportunity. Then his brother enters the story. His younger brother is going through a rough patch. College. Something happens. No place to go. He calls.
Can I come crash at your house?
He moves into the apartment. And this is where the story turns. Because the brother doesn't show up empty-handed. He shows up with knowledge and tools. Now, I'm not going to walk through the mechanics here. But the important system failure is this. Complexity creates blind spots. When a payment system is too complex for everyday people to understand, trust becomes automated. And wherever trust becomes automated, someone eventually learns how to counterfeit it. Here's the key idea. This wasn't about genius. It was about timing and verification. The system at the time was built for speed. More transactions, more cards, more approvals, more convenience. But it couldn't reliably answer one question in real time. Is this legitimate right now? Instead, it leaned on assumptions delayed detection. We'll catch it later controls. And that created a window. At first, it's small. Trial runs, low stakes, testing what goes through. Then it grows into something familiar in fraud stories. The escalation curve. You try something, it works. You gain confidence. You raise the stakes. You start believing you understand the system better than the system understands itself. He describes it like a progression.
Every time I tried to scale, I hit a wall, and I had to upgrade, change something up.
That line right there is the heartbeat of this channel. Crime isn't a moment. It's a process, and most fraud is just process improvement, applied to the wrong goal. And then we hit the scene that proves the system is waking up. A big box store, electronics counter, a purchase that triggers scrutiny. The cashier turns away, swipes, and immediately calls for help.
We got a code red back here at electronics.
He knows instantly.
I knew it was a wrap.
He walks away. His brother doesn't register the danger fast enough. Then the sprint, the chase, the panic. He escapes into a nearby trailer park, hides, waits, then checks online. His brother is in central booking. This is the third system failure. Enforcement is random until it isn't. For a while, it feels like nobody cares. Then one day, one transaction, one person, one store. And the system flips from invisible to locked on. His brother gets bonded out. Then something even scarier happens. The case appears dismissed. Bond money returned. Then later, law enforcement shows up again.
Good thing my brother's not here. He's got a warrant.
This is a key psychological trap in fraud stories. False relief. When the system doesn't punish you immediately, your brain rewrites risk as not that serious. And that's how people double down. Now we reach the most important pivot in this story. He starts realizing something that changes the whole operation.
Going into stores and reselling. It's cool, but it's not going to last. The safest person in this chain is the guy making the cards.
He understands that the higher up you move in an illegal ecosystem, the less visible you are. Not the person on camera in the store, the person behind the scenes. And this is where his graphic design background matters. Legit skill, misused. He starts focusing on production. Again, I'm not detailing methods. But conceptually, he makes the product look real. He markets it. He builds a brand in the forums, and he scales the business.
It seemed fun at the time, and later it came back to bite me.
Because branding makes you memorable. And in crime, being memorable is a liability. System failure number 4. Platforms create markets faster than rules. The internet didn't just connect people. It connected buyers, sellers, reputation, advertising, logistics, all before the world understood what that meant. He describes it like an early marketplace era.
This is pre-dark web. Forums like Reddit threads, seller threads, moderators.
He starts running packages. Orders become larger. Then the moment that changes everything.
I woke up and had like 20 orders. The top package. I'd never seen money like that.
And that's the final psychological hook of this story. When the money arrives in a lump, your brain stops thinking in right and wrong and starts thinking in scale and efficiency. This episode isn't about plastic, it's about trust. The system trusted speed over verification, scale over control, convenience over accountability, platforms over enforcement. And once that trust was in place, people didn't have to break the system. They just had to operate inside the gaps.